Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bishal. I'm a network security engineer and cybersecurity engineer. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you the FortiManager HA configuration. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe my channel. So without further ado, let's start with briefing the setup of this demo. I will be using EVNG for this demo. These two FortiManager units that I configure here are running the trial license. And the version of the software that I use in this demo is let me show you. It's a 7.2.1. This is the demo. So if you want to set up your own lab, you need to make sure you select the correct image for the FortiManager. If you have multiple FortiNet images in your EVNG, and the next thing I will do is I make sure I give the correct host name. There is one thing to note about this naming and the interface. I mean, how many interfaces you want to add here. If you change it later, there may or may not be some issue, but I don't want to face some issue later on just because of that. So I highly recommend that you set the host name properly during the initial setup. Don't change it later. If you want to change it, you delete it and you set everything just here. For example, maybe you want to set something like that, the 40FMG1, just an example host name, and then you might want to set the CPU to give 4 virtual CPU, and then the RAM 8192, because it's a recommended RAM requirement for this newer version of the FortiGate. Since we are running the trial version of the software, I also do not recommend you to use more than 8192 GB of RAM. Otherwise, your trial license may not work, because it's just for the demonstration purpose and trial purpose only. So I do not recommend to set higher than this amount. So I will click cancel here, since I have already placed 2 nodes here. So I have already done the IP address configuration here. Apart from that, the 2 units are, how you can say it, is still new. There's no other configuration over there. So we will start with going to the GUI, and before I go to the GUI, I missed to mention that these 2 units are connected to the management cloud of the EVNG. So the management cloud is acting like a switch. So these 2 FortiManager units can talk to each other via this management cloud. This management cloud is not only acting like a switch, it's also bridging to my desktop. So let me start how the bridging work with here. This is my EVNG VM running on Hyper-V hypervisor, and this is actually connected to my VMware NAT network adapter switch. So if you see here, let's take a look at the interface again. So this is connecting to this virtual switch. So let's take a look at the configuration of the virtual switch. Go to the virtual switch manager. So this is connected to my VMware this NAT adapter. This when you use this VMware 8, VMNet 8 is actually the NAT adapter. So it's bridging to the network directly. So what I can do is I can access these two FortiManager unit from my desktop directly. So let's try to connect this two FortiManager unit from the web UI. This is the primary unit. Click accept. It's the subsite certificate error. This is a secondary unit. So let me log in. I have already set the password. So I have already set up the host name here, but some strange reason the newer version of the FortiManager or FortiGate, I don't think it's in the FortiGate. FortiManager are popping up this kind of the basic setup always. So I will click on later and finish because I have already completed the setup before. So what I have done here so far is I have set up the host name, and then I have set up the not the HA configuration. I have set up the network interface configuration of the port 1 that we will be using here. Since we will be exploring all the other services available on FortiManager later on, so I enable, apart from HTTPS, all the other services. So I will just click cancel. If you haven't set this, at least you should set the ping here. So your this clustering will work. And, the ping and the SSH and then HTTPS you should have set here. So let's try to check the another unit, which is the FortiManager 2. Yeah, as we check here, the HA is in the default configuration, so it's in the manual. Failover mode is manual, and then operation mode is in standalone. So here also the same, the failover mode is manual, operation mode is standalone. So let's try to verify the network setting here of the port 1. So it's the same. Apart from the HTTP, I have enabled all the other administrative access for this interface. So if you haven't done so, you can enable it. Then you need to click apply afterwards. Let me show you the interface configuration of the CLI. So show system port 1. The reason why I'm showing you here is sometimes due to some strange reason or maybe bugs, if you cannot set the correct services for your interface, what you can do is you can go to CLI and then you type config system interface and then edit port 1, and then you can type set allow access from the CLI. This is another workaround. That's the reason I'm showing you here, the CLI configuration. So since we have verified all the basic setup, so we will start with the HA configuration. So to start the HA configuration, what I will do is I'll go to the HA mode and I will select failover mode to VRRP. If I select the VRRP, you will see here the operation mode automatically grey out. And what I will do now is I will type the PRIB, which is the IP address of the secondary unit. and then the serial number. The serial number is of the secondary unit. I will copy from the dashboard. I will select and click Ctrl C to copy it, and then here I'll paste it by pressing Ctrl V. So for the cluster ID, I won't be changing anything, but if you want, you can change from you can change it to any arbitrary number between 1 to 64. And the group password, this is required, so only the authenticated cluster, which uses the same password, can join this cluster ID group. So I will just give the simple password. You need to type the same password on another unit, so they can form the cluster. The heartbeat interval, I won't be changing it, but since for the failover reason, to make it faster during this demo, I will make it a little shorter. Instead of 30, I will set the 5. Then the heartbeat interval, I will set it to 5 and failover threshold to 10. And another thing I'll be setting is the virtual IP. So this is the IP that we will be using after the HA configuration to manage the FortiManager units. So we will only do the configuration changes on the active unit. So the monitoring IP, this FortiManager 1 will keep pinging this 182 IP address of another unit port 1 for the to monitor the secondary unit. If the ping fail for whatever the reason, it will trigger the failover and it will take over the primary unit in case this FortiManager 1 is running as a secondary unit in the cluster. So I will also enable the unicast. In the virtual environment, sometimes the multicast may not be allowed, so you can turn it the unicast VRRP here. So now I think I have completed all the basic configuration, so I will be clicking apply. Oh, I still need to select the VRRP interface since we are using the port 1 for the BIP, so this will be the VRRP interface. So you will see the notice here, because of the HA operation mode is changed, it will log me out of the session, so I need to log in again. So what I will do now is I will first verify the HA configuration from the GUI or GUI, and I will go to the CLI and see this HA configuration. So in order to do that, I will type the command get system HA, then this simply show our VRRP configuration and then the other basic configuration. So let me issue the get system HA status. So here you can see the current the status. So you will see here the health status. HA cluster is not fully synced yet because we haven't configured the secondary unit. The HA role is the primary, and then this one is never synchronized. And this is the model number of the 40K unit, since we are running on EVNG is Ubuntu, so it's the Linux KVM. The cluster ID is 1, the HA heartbeat interval, and these are the threshold. The threshold are somehow not updated here, even though I configure. So what I will do now is to make sure these are effect, I will quickly reboot the device so it won't cause any problem later on. So here you can also see the CPU utilization, since the second unit has not joined the cluster, so it's not available here at the moment. Since this one is not changing, let me quickly go to the priority as well. I will be setting 200 here for the primary unit. Then here I'll be setting as a 5 and then 10. Then what I will do now is I will verify from the CLI again, get system HA status. Okay, 5 and 10, but to make sure these settings are effect, I will quickly reboot the primary unit. Before we do that, we will copy the serial number of the primary unit. So while we are waiting for the reboot to complete, so we can start configuring the secondary unit. So now what I will do now is I will just restart the unit. So let's go back to the secondary unit. So as I did this before in the primary unit, so I will be setting this failover mode to VRRP. Then I will type T2.181, the primary unit IP, and then the serial number of the primary unit. Here I'll be setting the same password. This is just for demo purpose only, that's why we use a very simple password, but if you are doing in production, you may need to set up this password according to the password configuration and policy guideline of your organization. So the PIP will be zero. Here I'll select the port 1. The priority I'll be setting as 100, because this is a secondary unit. So I will enable the uniqueness, and then I will set the monitor IP 181, which is the port 1 IP address of the primary unit. Then select the port as port 1. Now I will click apply. So let me do the verification from the CLI again. Get system HA status. Yeah, these settings are not affected, so I need to do it again to make sure they are both in sync. otherwise the HA cannot form. What I'll do now is I'll quickly reboot the secondary unit. Before that, I will do the okay, this one is running 5 and 10. Execute, restart, sorry, reboot. So what I will do now is I will try to capture and wait, open the Wireshark to verify what messages, what VRRP messages are sending across these two. So we don't see any VRRP message from the secondary unit to primary unit yet. Now it's only sending from primary source to the destination, the secondary unit, which is 182. You may also notice here that the authentication string, which is not secure, is a plain text. Look like the HA is up here, but we still don't see the VRRP messages from the secondary unit yet. So what I'll do is I will do the same captcha for the port 1 secondary unit. Okay, let me go back to this let me go back to the web UI and verify the HA status. So what I'll do now is I will do the get system HA, get system HA status. So it's saying that this one is never synchronized state. So I believe there might be some issue with it, or let me verify. this can also be possible because we have not made any changes here yet. I'll make sure this the hello messages and everything is correct. Is correct. 181, we are sending to 181. Okay. Think everything seemed to be fine. So we're trying to trigger the HA failover from the primary unit, which is the FortiManager 1. As you can see here, it's showing as a primary. So I will trying to restart the system. As you can see here, the cluster is up. Now this secondary status showing here in this web UI should change to the primary. Sorry. I should be able to see the VRRP messages here. That's why I think that's the reason. Okay, now I can see the VRRP messages. Oh, as you can see here, is the status have already changed to the primary. Maybe it takes some time to do the failover. Let's take a look at the event logs here. Okay, so what I need to do now is, since I face some error on the primary unit, I will quickly reload it again. These things happen when you use the PN for simulation. It's not as stable as the production equipment. Anyway, we will wait for that. While we are waiting for that, okay, I'm receiving the same error. I think let me just quickly close the browser, then open a new session. So we're also trying to so let's go to the CLI and see what's going on for these two FortiManager unit. Let me verify the interface. I hope the interface not got restarted. Oh no, it's still waiting for the reboot to complete. Okay, the HA is up. Maybe probably I should not set this heartbeat to 15 because this is just a lab simulation. So I think the first heartbeat here may have caused some problem with the device access. So since we have already done the failover, but to make sure, I will try to reboot the primary unit. So this is I want to show you the failover. Currently HA secondary should become the HA primary. So let's try to reboot one more time the primary unit. So the secondary unit should fail over to the HA primary state. Or I will just simply shut down. And I will bring back the unit later. Here I have changed the status to the connecting to peer. It's still in the HA secondary status, so we just trying to wait while we bring back the primary unit. now you see the unit is failover as a HA primary. So you can also see in the event log here saying that the HA configuration mode has changed, and here is saying that let me scroll this up. Sorry, let me hide this so you can see it clearly. So HA mode changed to primary. So what I will do now, the next step, will be I will try to access these two units from the virtual IP that we set here. But let's show you the CLI configuration. So if in case something happened, so you can also do the config changes from the CLI. So this is the configuration mode of exactly what we did in the GUI menu. Including this VRRP threshold and everything is in here. So you can configure the HA from the CLI as well. You just need to type these commands over there. Okay, so let's try to access using this virtual IP. Copy this. So you will see the primary unit, which is currently the FortiGate2. So if we shut down the FortiGate2, we will see when you're trying to access this, it should fail over back to the primary FortiGate unit, and we should be able to see here this primary unit will become the HA primary. Now it's still in the secondary status because things is waiting for it to fail over. Meanwhile, we will try to bring back the secondary unit. Oh, now is the status changed to the HA primary. So let's try to access the 180. So we should be able to see the host name of the primary unit over there. So when you go to the CLI, yeah, you can see the primary unit. So in today's video, we have set up the two FortiManager unit in HA mode. I hope you learned new things in this video. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye. Please also don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.